Alrighty, so welcome back to part two. So hopefully, now that we've kind of taken a look at those things at the beginning, um, it'll give us kind of a stepping stone in as we begin the story. And we'll come back, if I remember, after we finish the story, and we'll look at those beginning things and see, how do they tie into the story? After we're finished, how can we tie the beginning, the end, the minor details, the author, the setting? How can we tie all those things together? And after watching the first video, at 5 minutes of not even getting into the story, you might be thinking, well, I'm only in grade 6. This is a 3-page story. Why do we have to do so much work? But the point of these videos isn't to get you through Stray. The point is to teach you analysis skills that you can use to the end of your school career in post-secondary university. These are things, critical thinking, analysis, you'll use your entire life. When you read the news, going through a magazine, when you're editing papers, this is all stuff that you're going to use. And it's also, this is the kind of thing that your teacher is going to be looking for you to get that exceeding, okay? So that's what I'm trying to help you get to. So let's start at the intro here, and kind of the format that we're going to follow is, just for this video, we're going to do the introduction, the first 2 sentences, because those can be pretty important to setting up the story. And I've highlighted this section at the end. So this is kind of the section that we'll be going over. And as we continue in these series of videos, I will highlight longer and longer sections, and we'll get through it. Okay, so let's start. And I have made a couple notes for the intro here. What does an introduction do? An introduction generally gives us the setting, where the story is taking place, who is in the story, that's character introduction, and it also primes us for what kind of mood the story is gonna give. What's the tone that the author's writing in, and it also illuminates us as to the writer's style, because every writer is different. And we want to be able to kind of get used to their style so we can pull things out of it. And so what we're looking for in this intro, these 2 sentences should be able to set us up to understand the world of the next however many pages long the story is. Okay, so let's start. First, right off the back, super critical is we've got in January. Okay, so we already know it's winter, and that is so important because it tells us what the world of this story is going to be like. And winter and the seasons are often used as symbols, metaphors in story writing and creative writing. And often winter is associated with emptiness, with and a lack of life, barren, emotional absence. It's distant, cold, bleak, dark even. And so that's, in the first 2 words, what we're getting set up to look into in this story. It could also, and I think this is a little bit of a hint for later, it could be something set up to oppose the theme of the story. And we'll get to that a little bit further on. So next thing, 2 words in, we get a puppy. And obviously, if you've looked at the story at all, puppy is going to be critical. It's the whole point of the story. We also get Mr. Amos Lacey and his wife Mamie. So there's some more characters, and their daughter Doris. So here we are. We've got the whole crew here, the dog, the 3 humans, the family, and there we are. And then this next sentence, this whole next longest part here, I think is perhaps when I was speaking about tone and mood, this is what we're looking for here. So how does this story feel? How do these characters feel? How do we feel when we read this? Icicles hung 3 feet or more from the eaves of houses. So I'm almost 6 feet tall. So these icicles are half as tall as me. And that's a crazy image. It speaks about snowdrifts swallowing up automobiles. And I really like that. I think swallowed is super important, because if we remove the word swallowed and we put something like covered up automobiles or hid automobiles, the meaning is so different. Swallowed is critical to understanding this sentence. Okay, so we've looked at the intro, and we'll move on to the first part after.